oh, I think about 75 degrees, 80. It's just so need the breeze and the mist. I have to do a review on this thing because it is awesome. I got it on Wayfair, but they do have one on Amazon similar. So anyway, sorry I'm late. Mama need help with okay. Hold on a second, I gotta figure this out. So bring this down. Um, I've got a package. Hi, Amby. Hi, Jaden. Welcome on in. Long time no see. I am up here. It's blowing, but it just actually put the mist on a little bit 'cause it's a little warm out. So I'm gonna have my little mister on and find the mist up there. Just so in the direction I need it to be. But let me get it to. I got to get it to stand up first. I think we need to be this way. Let's put it down here. Just to kind of blow some cool air my way. I was going to put it on there, but the direction's not going to work today. It's fine. So, and I have a package, so we're going to open that. Got some soap caddies I'm trying to work on. I don't know, guys, if shout outs are going to come out till tomorrow. Not kind of going into a little bit too much detail. I've just been dealing with some fibromyalgia stuff, some other stuff, and it has worn me out in numerous ways. So bear with me, guys. You always will. Our fountain's not on. I don't know why. They don't have it running today, but it's not going anywhere in my direction. So, yeah. Trying to get the fan to give me. Unless I hold it like this, right? Maybe. We'll see. We'll see, right? But they don't have the it is. It's kind of doing its whole thing just to kind of keep me cool, but the fan does help. So without going into really too much detail, but I've just been dealing with some stuff, and so I just haven't been able to get a lot done the past couple of days. I'm kind of coming back to the land of the living here. But you'll understand, especially if you're dealing with fibromyalgia and all that kind of good stuff. It's just one of those unexpected. I'm okay. It's just kind of going through something that kind of, you know, it put me out a little bit. It's what landed me in the hospital last year. So I've been dealt with it for a while and it's okay. I'm okay. It's just worn me out, guys. It's been a very, very painful past couple of days, but I'm finally coming out of it and I'm just wiped. I'm exhausted. Christina came today. That sounds good. You were close enough. I come over for dinner. So I've been dealing with that and it's been tiring and exhausting, but I'm getting through it. Christina came today, probably the last time she'll come before before I become a grandma. So she came to enjoy everything. So I wanted to take a moment so you guys can see. Hi, Dad. Welcome on in, Bobby. Hopefully, this is the way. Um, said it. You guys can put hashtag blessed in the chat if you want people to connect with your channel. Hi, Sandy Wandy. Welcome on in. Anyway, I wanted to show you all these. This so y'all can see. This is our patriotic soap caddy. So y'all can see this. We do have this available on the merch store. These are how they are packaged now. So you all can see that they're packaged very nicely. They're packaged, especially for like hanging in places. We wanted to make sure that they could hang nicely in shops and so forth. So we're going to be going down in the Amish country. Josh's cough is slowly getting better. So hopefully, once I start feeling better and not so worn out from the past couple of days, I can do that as well. So this is our patriotic soap caddy. This is the one we are packaging like this. You can see what we put on them so it can identify. This is the one for the Army. Hi, Henry. Welcome on in. So this is the one for the Army. We do have these available in the merch store. I need to make a link for it. This is the Coast Guard. So we have those on the bottom so that if anybody does in our local area want to put these up, we can have these so that they can see, which branch of service we're representing. So this is the Coast Guard. Um, this is the Air Force. I think the way we're packaging them now, and I'd like to even improve these, but still for right now, this is a step up from what we did before. So this is the Air Force, the Marines. So you can see the colors represented back there. And this is the Navy. So if anybody gets them, it'll say that for each one. Plus we have one for the Space Force. I'm not going to have that a lot in stock because, and a lot of these will be made to order, um and so forth, but we have other colors. We have pinks, and I'm telling you, for instance, I wanted to show this. Hold on a second. Okay. um if some I wanted to show people, like, this was done with the same yarn, but they're two different. You can see how different they are. They're two very different. Um, Even though they've done the same thing, they just come out very differently depending on which part of the top I'm on. We have them in pink, um, tan, um, brown. I cannot get this color back. This color is no longer available, but there's a similar color Hobby Lobby has. Um, Green, just all different colors. Um, this color, hi Muhammad, this color, just all different colors. But anyway, this is our patriotic. So when you order a military soap caddy, guys, um, we were gonna give 10% off. We're not doing that. What we are doing for the soap caddies is when you order a military soap caddy, you get a free patriotic soap caddy, one per order. So if you ordered, like, if you had somebody you ordered Navy and Army, right? They're $5 a piece, Navy and Army. You order Navy, you order Army, then you would get one of these, just as our way of saying thank you for your service. So you get one per order if you ever do order a military one. Plus, we always throw in one for you to pass on to a friend. So it's just a way for us to have you give smiles to someone else, right? So again, Navy, Army, we have Space Force, but it's in the house. I haven't packed it up yet. Coast Guard, oops, dropped. Marines, and you guys can put hashtag blessed in the chat, and Air Force. So I wanted you all to see that, um, the way we have them packaged up, and I wanted you to see how we have make sure that we put on there. Um, these are ones I have to tie off, but I finish these up. So that one, oops, string. I did this one earlier, so I never started. So I'm doing, oh, another one we're doing, they're in the house, is we have first responders. So I'm working on one for the police. We have one for paramedics. We have one for the fire department. I'm working on another one of those because I've got to send out the first round I did of those. And we have ones for school bus teachers or school bus drivers. They're super cute. And we also have ones we can make, and those are order only. I may try to do a couple, but I actually have to go get, and I don't get the yarn unless it's 30% off, Hobby Lobby, but I have to actually go get the tan yarn to make it, but it's going to be in inspiration from a pencil. So we have pencil and school bus driver. And of course, if these make great end of the year gifts, find out what the teacher's favorite color is and order teacher's favorite color. And get a couple and give them as way as end of the year gifts. But we're going to do pencil inspired ones for anybody that wants to give a pencil inspired one. They're on our website. And school bus drivers. Um, and those are adorable. We made them similar to this. We used that gold, you see, but we did we did gold on the bottom. We did a strip of the white like this, and then we did black top with a red, what was it, a red tire to mimic the red stop sign. So that's what we did. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to record this now kind of live, and then I'll go ahead and I will uh take it and, you know, screenshot it and then put it into a short. I got some swag from and I'm gonna wait, am I gonna say the channel wrong? Try not. But anyway, we got some swag and I do apologize for my delay. It's from Scrow's Nest. So we got some swag from Scrow's Nest channel, and he sent this to me. So I haven't opened it yet. I received it. Like I said, I will edit this and so that I can put it in a short and thank him for the swag. I just figured if I don't do this, no, it may not happen. There's just been a lot going on. It was like I need to record the last of the advent calendar stuff and before June happens, and we'll get there now that I'm kind of coming out of whatever was going, the stuff that was going on with me this week. Let's see what he said. Thank you, by the way, his name is Randy, nice guy. Thank you so much for the swag. I appreciate it. So, see what we got. He sent it, and I haven't opened it up. Okay, so making sure that I didn't lose. Oh, I think I'm rich, right? No, I did. I'm rich in friendships, right? Whoops. I lost a sticker. Hold on a second. All right. Sticker. Did I put it up? No, that's upside down. So you got a sticker. It's cool. We got a magnet. You put it there so you can see we got a magnet. It's really awesome. We got a coaster. Make and even side in the back. Travel safe. That's awesome. We got another sticker. Make excuses or make it happen. I love it. Got that. Got like a really cool sticker, hologram sticker. It's really cool. And a paper with a sticker on it, $100 bill. It's really cool. And it does say movie prop only. Be nice if it was, but that's okay. That's awesome though. So that's really cool. That's really cool. And it says, the note says, Mary, Here is a little channel swag. Thank you for just helping him out with his watch hours like he helped me. I really appreciate your support, Randy. That's very nice. We're not done yet. This looks like, oh, this is remove. Okay. Something that was in this. We gotta see what it is. Oh, a little flag. My daughter, I'll have to give this to my daughter. She love this. She can use this for her props. This is going to go to my daughter who does Chrissy's cosplay wardrobe. So if she ever does anything with pirate, she'll love this. So I will definitely, oh, it almost blew away on me. I will be definitely giving this to her so that she can definitely use this in her props. But she will like that. So I will, she will find definitely a way to use that. If you haven't checked out her channel, Chrissy's cosplay wardrobe, she is not far from 500. Just put this, well, I want to put it back in here if I can, but I may have to do it later. It's a neat way to package. I'm going to go around trying to put it in later. That's okay. Let me put this stuff back in here. And then I will give that to her so she can use it for her props. She will do a fine thing of that. We got, I'll have to give some of the stuff to Mr. Blessed to Crochet. He'll like this little tape measure with these little screw things. That's going to Mr. Blessed to Crochet for sure. That is really cute. Look at that. He'll like this. So I'm going to give this to Mr. Blessed to Crochet. Little keychain. Oh, like a little, oh, a little light. You see that? Yeah, put, um, I'm not with it yet, guys. Uh, Sandy, please put Chrissy in there. Explanation point, Chrissy. CHRISSY. And I'll pull it up. Anyway, a little light. I'll give that to Mr. Buster Crochet too. And let's see what's in this little envelope. Another keychain. Oh, I can use this one. A little bottle opener. I'll use. Oh, that's really cool. Look at this, guys. Little bottle. It looks like a little. Yeah, it's a little bottle opener, like for Coke cans and stuff like that. It's awesome. So thank you so much. Go check out his channel. I will put it in the description of this video. And I will also do a little mini short of this so people could see what we got. Great stuff. I will be passing some of it along, of course. I will be keeping some of it for myself, but thank you so much. I appreciate it tremendously. And here's my first swag bag that I've gotten. So that's pretty cool. But awesome. She likes Pirates of the Caribbean. I can't think what his name is. Whatever's what whatever that guy's name is. I can't think what he's called. I'm drawing blanks today, guys. But just put explanation point CHRISSY Sandy, and I'll pull up her channel. Oh, whatever his name was, Johnny Depp played. I cannot think for nothing. Oh my goodness. While being tired. Thank you. I'm just it it's been a little bit of a stressful past couple of days for me. Just because of, last year when I kind of had things happen with after Patty died, there was a lot of losses that went on in my life. Patty passed away. There were some other things that went on, and it caused a lot. My body just went, let's just go nuts. And so I didn't want it. I didn't. When things happen, I was like, oh, please, I don't want to. I don't need to go to the hospital right now and do all that kind of stuff again. And so I was trying not to panic. I was trying not to. Yeah, I was just trying to kind of take it easy this weekend, and it's just worn me out. And it's, but part of it is fibromyalgia just only impacts it a lot. I didn't go to church on Sunday. I was too tired. I don't know if you look back on Saturday, but I looked exhausted. Josh came in, Christina left today and went home. And Josh looked at me and said, you need to go back to bed, go take a nap. And I did. I went back to bed and slept for another hour. I am just, mojo is there and it's coming back, but it's just been a little bit of pain does a lot. And I don't think people realize how tiring and exhausting it is to deal with pain. And I just really think people have no idea what it's like to deal with that. I mean, you deal with that every day as a fibromyalgia patient, but you don't, when you're dealing with that, it's kind of like my normal stuff, I'm good, but it's been a little bit above that. And so you're dealing with that. You're just, it wears you out. I'm wearing very loose clothing today, very comfortable clothing today. Got these at Kohl's. I love them because I can wear them and they don't look like, they look like a nice little outfit. It is, but it's comfortable kind of lounge because I needed something very loose, very comfortable. Because even today, I noticed that if I wore anything that felt, I had really loose clothing and it had to be soft because it was hurtful to my skin. And I think people don't realize how absolutely exhausting it can be as a chronic pain patient. I just think it's just they don't realize it. Hi, Carmen. Welcome on in. So, you know, it just gets tiring, and but I'm pushing through. It's all I can do. We're gonna travel again like we did before. I don't know where we're gonna go next. We're gonna take the rocking chair and go someplace. I want to try to do some of that, a lot of that over the next little bit here because June's gonna be awful busy in the middle. Um, Another thing too is we're at 2017 when it comes to watch hours, and I am so thankful to y'all. We have not very far to go before we'll at least be at 3,000 again. And as soon as we're at 3,000 and May 21st happens, we can reapply for the partner program because apparently we left even though we didn't realize that we did. Yeah, well, that too, and I'm gonna become a grandmother next month, so, I'm gonna need my daughter's gonna need a little help, um, just in, we won't, we won't be, you know, we want them to have their family time, of course, and everything, but, hi, Tracy, welcome on in, but, she's gonna need our help a little bit, so bringing up meals and all that kind of stuff, and just helping her so that she can recover. So, that's on the docket for next month, and so I'd like to get, things done before we're trying to kind of deal with that. And I have my handy dandy fan, and I'm telling you, I don't know if y'all can see that, but it is wonderful. It's actually a stroller fan, and I got one for my daughter, and, so, uh when I found out how wonderful it was, I had to keep one for myself. I have been asked not to release that information. I can just tell you it will be in June. And I'm not able to release, what they're having and so forth. And it's just to keep their privacy. They would like to keep some of the privacy. So, you know, I'm honoring that. I can talk about becoming a grandma, and that's what I'm doing. That's the life change I'm having. Now one thing that I did, hi Captain, welcome on in. I'm doing pretty good today. I'm coming back to didn't say it was going to rain, but we'll see. We shall see, right? One thing that I kind of got recently, or my husband gave me, was this. I need to get one for myself because my hands were getting a little tired, and want to make sure that these things are knotted real tight and they're not going anywhere. So that way I can make a really tight knot before I make another knot. So, but they said it wasn't going to rain. But I'm going to be I see how I feel tomorrow. I've just been really, I'm getting back to myself, but it's just been a tiring weekend. And there's no sense to put any hairspray in my hair because oh, you too as well. You blow around like everything around here, especially when the wind blows. And I didn't come out before because it was real. They said it was really windy. My mom needed help with Mocha, so I'll just come out when I am. So I'm okay, guys. Kind of like laid back today. I think the Flowbee can tell it. It's roughly 9 degrees. It's too hot. I came out here going, I want my cold weather back. I'm a cold weather girl. I don't like the warm weather at all. I like it when it's cold. I like the snow. I like the fall. I do not like it when it's hot. Do not, do not, do not. Even though I was raised in Florida, I got enough of that. Actually, I have found out that if with my fibromyalgia, if it's cold and I can come sit outside for like 20 minutes, depending on how cold it is, I actually do better. I can come out and I can kind of like let the cold weather just kind of help me. And it just, no, I don't like the spring either. It really does help my muscles, and I find out I'm not so sore, and then I don't hurt for a little bit. And I had a doctor, remember when we moved to Ohio back in Cincinnati, said, oh, you need to go live in like a very dry climate. You're in the wrong climate, like Arizona or something. I'm like, no, my husband would never, he'd never want to live there. It's too hot. And he likes it when it's cold, 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 cold. Hi, Alfonso. I saw your um your premiere. You're in the wrong climate. Oh, not. I actually do better in the cold weather. Thank you very much. Some bodies do differently and other bodies. If I get too ahead and don't end this, then I'm going to have a pile about this thick before I have to end it. I don't do that. Let's see what else. But I've just been like, it's been one of them days. I've just needed to kind of take it easy. So usually shout outs come out, recaps come out tonight. They may not come out till tomorrow. I need to get with the shout outs though, but I need to do an orange one. I really didn't have any orange when I did this. Oh, I did have orange. Never mind. I have a stock of in ties things ready to go that I've just I kind of like that I want to use up because I use up majority of my yarn, but majority of my yarn. I really like that other one. I think that's the one I'm gonna go with. I don't like to waste. Well, I make soap caddies. I also make blankets too, but I do make and then we sell soap caddies. So, it's down first. I'm finishing these up so I can get these done. You put your bar soap in these. They're 100% cotton. You put your bar soap in them. We sell them for $5 on the merch store. You guys get to choose the bottom color, meaning you want a green one, a purple one, pink one. The patriotic and the military ones come as is. The school bus ones come as is. We do Christmas ones, but then you put your bar soap in. Um, you rub a dub dub, and you let the soap finish out, and then you throw it in the washer and start all over again. They're not going to last forever, but they last about a year and a half, 2 years. They're great for the face too because they're really soft. If you're going to use them for face stuff, to put little bumpy things, right? So that it's got air, and then we purposely put this little up here. It's not just for decoration. This little like ruffle part on the top so that you can hang it from a hook in your shower. My husband and I have these. We've never had an issue, or as anybody that has received one that's had an issue with any kind of mold stuff or anything like that because they dry very well, and they work wonderfully. They're great, especially for people that are disabled that maybe have a hard time holding on to a bar of soap because the soap drops. This makes it very easy. It makes it easy for kids too that are, washing their bodies and so forth. And your soap lasts longer. I have found that majority of people say, I don't use bar soap anymore. You know why? Is because they literally find bar soap so frustrating. It's like, why bother? It's messy, it's yucky, it's slippery, it's all different kind of stuff. But this keeps everything to the very last drop, and you throw it in the washer, you take it out, you put another bar of soap and let it dry, and and start all over again. And I had a friend of mine who had surgery. She had surgery, and she said that this our soap caddy was a lifesaver because she said I could not. I only had one arm. She had one arm. She had surgery, so she was only could use one arm. And so she said, this meant I could go shower by myself without help. And she said, I love the soap caddy. And then she came back and said, I need another one. Lasted for about 2 years, and then she needed another one. So we sell them for $5 on the merch store. We have a whole soap caddy collection now. I think, see if I can get it out. It's here someplace. Is that that's a picture? Oh, I'm making noise. One. Okay, no, thought maybe I had it. I don't see it. Oh, here it is. We have a Christmas one. We can also do this with a brighter green, and that one will become our Grinch one for the holidays. So, boy, them the frogs or something. Those are Christmas ones. Um, like I said, we come in all different colors. And, you know, So we do a brighter one and then it becomes a Grinch style one. Got a whole bin of them. A local store in our area has them and carrying them. Um, they bought 20 of them. They've sold probably about 10 of them already. So we're trying to get them out there. Got 'em in- I've got them some color. It's really nice. Got 'em this color. I mean, there's a lot. They make great gifts. I had somebody recently order ones. We have the military, we have the first responders, we have Christmas, we have the school bus drivers now. Um, School bus drivers. We have the pencils inspired soap caddy, which is all in our merch store. So, and if you go to our link tree, both Christina's channel will be there. Chrissy's cosplay wardrobe will be on our link tree, and also our merch store will be there. And if you go to our shorts, you'll see the link for that. Then one I haven't packaged up yet is the Space Force because we did the Space Force recently. So we have our patriotic ones, and so and we want to go down. We don't live far from the Amish country. We want to go down to the Amish country because there's some shops that probably would sell them down there. I think they would go very well down there. Um, you know, we also do them for, we recently did ones for a baby shower, so we can do ones for baby showers. And then we work special with that. If someone has her, soap shop, work with them on that. Uh, Weddings as a favor, graduation parties, baby showers, baby gender reveals. Oh, that's wonderful. It's from Pennsylvania. Yep, I've been to Pennsylvania, at least the one city on Maryland. I can't remember, but you go on I-95 and you go from Pennsylvania to Maryland. I think it's Shrewsbury. I've been in Shrewsbury. Um, so we'll do them graduations, wedding, bridal showers. We did one recently for a baby shower. And the thing is that a gift like this is useful and it's also something that people don't expect. You know, when you go to a wedding, sometimes there's just, you know, it's just sometimes just, stuff that you can buy. And when my daughter got married, if I had known about this at the time, I would have done this as the wedding favor. This would have been the wedding favor versus what I did. We would have done soap caddies. And so, I mean, I think it'd be super cute to be able to have somebody reach out and say, I want to do this as a gender reveal, pick the colors, right? That's awesome. I hope you have a good dinner. Thank you. Um, to be able to let us know what the gender is and be able to maybe put them in cute little brown bags or something like that. Um, and then, to be able to send them and everybody at 1, 2, 3 undoes the bag and reveals what the gender is, you know, be really, really cute, I think. I think it'd be adorable to do a gender reveal party like that. And then people get to take them home afterwards. I think the cupcakes and all those things are really cute, but I think, having us do them for the gender reveal, and people get to take them home and use them after they get done. That's really cool. So, anyway, but it's not a pattern we will ever release because we sell them. I think if I was in a different area, but I'm in an area that has a lot of little shops and so forth. And like I said, we recently did them for a baby shower and people were loving them. absolutely loving them. And I want to start carrying the military ones. Just have a few in my purse or something. If I see someone that is in the military instinctively, without even thinking of it, one thing I will teach my grandchildren is to say thank you for their service. My dad served in the Navy for, and that was one of the inspirations behind the military sub caddy. Was I figured, well, we got the patriotic. Let's figure out a way to do a way of honoring all the branches of service. And sure enough, the 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 it just I just instinctively go, thank you for your service. There's not even a thought. It just happens. My dad served in the military for 28 years, a lot of it reserves, 10 months, 6 days, but who's counting, as he used to say. And he passed in 21, but you know, if I see somebody with a hat on, I'll thank you for your service. It just comes right out. And so if I had some of these we met active, I don't remember, I think they were in the army. They may have been, I don't remember the branch they were serving. They were in Sam's Club, and I thought, it'd be great to be able to have some of these in my purse or in the car. And if I see somebody, especially in my purse, just be able to plus one if they served in any of the branches and hand them one. I love seeing. So no, but we originally were going to do on, if anybody orders them, we originally were going to do oh, like 10% off. And then I just decided, let's just throw in one of the flag's soap caddies to represent the flag, because really honestly, if you think about it, most soldiers lay down their life. Do you know what I mean? They Yep. Um People lay down their life for this country. And what do we do when someone passes? We put a flag. And so what a way to be able to, if they order one of the, if they get online and they order, it's only one per order, but they order one of our military inspired soap caddies, right? They get um one of our patriotic soap caddies, one per order, but they get one of our patriotic soap caddies because that's what they've done. They've done their life. So um but just our way of saying thank you. So I thought I'll just include one of those. And then we're always with one of our soap caddies. When somebody orders one of our soap caddies, we add one in for a friend. That's awesome. Yep. So if our if you order one of our soap caddies, we just include one and we say, this is a complimentary one. Now go bless somebody else. Right? Yep. Yep. Well, my dad, every 4th of July, he got he literally brought he had he wore his uniform, and what people didn't realize is he had his last issue. So he fit in his uniform till very end because it was his last issue. Since so long. And he would have stayed in longer, but he didn't pass. He was so mad he didn't pass the test. He just retire, and then it's the cutest little thing. Well, didn't say it was gonna rain, but I checked it. So, and if anybody, wants to contact me and say, listen, you know, they're $5 on Amazon, or not Amazon, uh, on Fourth Wall. our fourth wall store, $5. But if somebody wants to like message me or email me and say, listen, I'd like to have, you know, I'd like to order one. I don't know if I order, unless you're down in Florida, where the Space Force is pretty new, but at least the 5 branches of the service. We do have the Space Force, which is, it starts with blue, then it's like a gray color, then it's black, and then it has a blue tire. So if anybody does want to reach out to me and say, listen, I want to order 10 of them, each branch of service. No, I don't use stitch markers. I've got this pattern so well in my head, it's like funny. And we do booties too. We're gonna be putting those up in the fourth wall store soon. I just gotta take pictures of them. But anyway, what and this is somewhat of a very forgiving pattern that I do. But anyway, back what I was saying, if somebody wants to reach out and listen and say, you know what, I have on at times, like in the booties, let me just finish my thought and I'll answer your question. If somebody wants to reach out and say, listen, can I have 2 of each of the branches of service? We'll work out a special price. Maybe I'll be willing to let them go for like $3 a piece or something like that. If they're saying, I want to keep these on hand, so if I run into people that have served, I can give them to them as thank you. As long as they're willing to do something like that, then we'll work something out. It have to be a special price. Almost kind of like, do it, pay for shipping. But it would just be as they would have the money, people they see that serve. Or maybe they go do some work in military hospital or something. They want to have some on hand or something like that. Then, I have no problem working a special pricing out with them. The stitch markers, well, let me go back to my whole thing. I have these and I am working these. I get from Hobby Lobby. Okay. I am working on stitch markers that I was working on. I got to get back to those that kind of are like, oh, what are those things called now? Y'all can tell I'm not yet with it. I feel like I need 3,000 cups more of coffee yet. I'm just tired. It's just, that's all there is to it. I'm really tired. I kind of feel like I don't need to worry about anything. Well, not that I don't need to worry, but it's not going to be a repeat situation as it was last year. And so I can kind of, and this weekend was just, level of pain was pretty up there. I mean, I was miserable all weekend. I didn't sleep right. And I never sleep anyways if I'm working consultation. But I have stitch markers that I was making with pink pour. And I'm going to get back to that because I got these and I was writing like, if you put projects away and you forget what hook size you are doing and you don't have to tear it out, you can take these and go like this, and then you can remember the hook size. But I was making pretty ones for people that wanted pretty ones. But I need to get back to that and do those. Oh, that would be fine. I use them. I use them, and I'll tell you the main reason I use them. I do use them on the booties because when I get to a certain row where there's one stitch and then there's like 6 more rows of a double, half double crochet, I don't want to have to remember where I stopped off. You know what I mean? It's like, I want to go, okay, from this section on, okay, from the row above this, then I'm counting for 6. And then I'm not sitting there going, where's that little single crochet? So then I put this in there, but I will use other stitch markers, of course. Um, I use them if I'm going to be ending a project, like if I want to hold my place in something so that it doesn't come out. Like I haven't finished this soap caddy, I will put a stitch marker there. Um, I have used them. I just don't. The blankets I do, I really don't need a stitch marker for, but I do use stitch markers for those kind of things. I just, and occasionally I've had to use it for one reason or another. Where am I? I don't even know where I am, guys. I'm here. The clouds are coming in over there. Beautiful, but it's like, are you gonna rain on me? You can see them back there. They're like rolling. It's really cool. And just, oh boy. And if one of my mods can drop exclamation point CHRISSY, it's my daughter's channel. She's only about 25 away from 500. She didn't have her watch hours there. Just nice to get her above that. If she ever does want to monetize that, she'd have the numbers to be able to do it. She does amazing at cosplay. Not my jam, but it's her jam. That's why that flag is going to her. But we were talking, her and I. She said, "What's the?" I was asking her what she was looking forward to, and I said, "Well, I'm just looking forward to sitting, holding my grandchild, just holding purple. Purple's my favorite color. Hands down, it will always be purple, and then my next is teal. My thing I'm looking forward to is just sitting there, and they were talking about grandparents, and they were saying why grandparents just go through enjoying their grandchildren more, and it's because you don't have this. You're it's not that you're not responsible for the child, but you can get to be more laid back. You're not having to think of the rules. You're not having to work. The responsibility isn't on you for the child. You get to just have fun. And I'm just like, you don't get to do that with your kids sometimes. And I was a single mother for many years of my life. For Christina was 5 or 6, something like that. I was too tired, to do much. It was too exhausting. I was too tired. It was just, I was working, trying to sleep. I was trying to figure out what was going on with her because she had some special needs. And so I didn't get to do things. My mother got to do them, but yet to some degree she didn't because she was helping me raise her. But I had to be the mom authority, and um, it was told very early on in our thing as we went to counseling. Josh and we did for yet a year. And I'll never forget the counselor saying and looking at Josh and say, okay, you can come into Christina's life and be dad, because her biological father was not in her life. And so you can come in, you can be called dad, you can do all those things, but you can't, any decisions that fall down have to fall down on Mary's shoulders. The final decision for everything has to fall on her shoulders. And, you know, we of course made them together, but any decisions that I needed to make regarding Christina, school, medications, all those kind of things were all done because I was the one that had to make the final decision. And it was absolutely exhausting. I didn't have that kind of, you know, um, I didn't get that. He said, you can come in, you can be dad, can do that role, but you've got to let Mary make all the final decisions. So all the decisions, Christina's medication, all that kind of stuff, we talked about it, we discussed it, but everything that I did had to come down on me because I was the biological parent. So I didn't get, I didn't have, telling you, at nighttime, guys, them frogs make an awful lot of noise. I'm trying to find out where that stitch is. I swear it said it wasn't going to rain. I'm trying to figure out this. Hold on a second. Whoa. That's crazy. That was like really quick. See, hold out here a second. Oh, everything. Wait. Like literally. That's crazy. That was really strange. You all saw that, Kim. I mean, it like dropped in temperature real quick. I may have to move here in a minute. It's Ohio weather. You never know. You just never know. Hold on to you guys for a second to see what it decides to do. Or what it's going to do. Oh my goodness. We're going to be swept away. Try and figure this out. It's annoying me. So I didn't have the final decisions. Everything came on my shoulders for Christina. I didn't have. Whew, that was really. Josh and I discussed everything, talked about it, all that kind of stuff. I had all the final decisions. All came down to I had to make them all. I'm trying to find that. Problem is, I can't. It got itself all. I didn't pull it through enough. Trying hard to get it. That was. Never know how I am. You just never know. I've got to get a weight. Paul, it looks like rain. It told me it wasn't going to rain. It said to me specifically, I looked at the thing, is it going to rain today? No, it's not. There we go. Thank. Of course, that was, but Ohio weather can change on a dime. There we go. Literally, it can change on a dime. You were not going to cooperate, were you? Oh, you can put hashtag blessed in the chat if you want people to connect with your channel. So anyway, Christina's, all, like I said, all the decisions of my daughter growing up had to fall on my shoulders. Just had to come on. I was the decision maker. Josh, is that quick? It went away. That was really weird. It was thinking of it. Knew better. It was out here. I wasn't going to do it. He was able to make decisions. We were able to talk about it, but I had to make all the decisions for him. All the decisions of what, what we were going to do, what medication she was going to take, what she wasn't going to take. I just sat there and that's your department. You got to make those decisions. So, oh, it's probably about when I came out here, it was about 80, 90. I mean, I brought my pashmina. I I have my stroller fan. Um, I have to do a review on that, but I got one for my daughter because I'm going to be a grandma next month. And of course, Ohio is hot, right? And so I got one for her also so she could take it to the hospital. And because she always at home, she has to have her fan going all the time. And so I got one for her and I loved it so much that I got to get one for myself. And I thought it'd be great when we're out here and it's hot, you know, or if I go someplace. Josh has been using it in the living room because he gets warm. So he has it in the living room. And so if we go someplace, we could, Josh has a walker, so do I. We can put it on our walkers too, and it's hot. Um, so it's great. Oh, and we have, I don't know why they did it or didn't do it, I guess I should say, in these places, but they in every room in our home, um in our bedroom, in my mom's bedroom, she never uses it. In living room is a fan. In the kitchen, where the dining room is, there's no light. Well, there's lights or pocket lights up there. There's no fan. You think they'd put a fan in there because it gets really warm in the kitchen. So when I'm putting together our soap caddies, um, so forth, and on the dining, sitting at the dining room table, it gets warm. I put this thing in there, and it really, really, really helps. So I'm doing pretty good today. Just gotta pick some. Oh, so, when the wind decided to come. So anyway, all right. Like I brought these out. You can see, added these to our little collection. Our military soap caddies, none of our military. So it's our Air Force, we have Navy, we have Space Force, we have Coast Guard, our patriotic soap caddies. We have Army. So yep. Well, that's awesome. And and again, we're back on the road. Apparently from YouTube. Lost our monetization because we voluntarily left the YouTube program, even though we never did. Never left it, never agreed to leave it, but apparently we did. Begin to understand it. I'm not going to begin to understand it because it's ridiculous. But anyway, that was what we were told. Wasn't to watch hours, but we're sitting at like 2017 in watch hours. And as long as we get back to 3,000, I got a loose string. 3,000, then July 21st, we can come back into the partner program, and we're at 2017. We never left the partner program, but we were told that we apparently did leave the partner program, even though we never left the partner program, and they can't investigate it because if you leave voluntarily, there's no way for them to investigate it. The one thing I can say is it came back to the realization that numbers, correct, they matter when you're trying to get to your your 500, they matter because you have to be there in order to get it. But in the overall scheme, you better build your YouTube channel and community, because at the ultimate thing, that's what's going to come down to. Um, when we first got the message that our memberships were paused, I didn't know what happened, and I thought it was because of watch hours, and it wasn't. Our community came out force. They're still coming out force. And so if you build your YouTube community or channel on community, when things happen, whatever it may be, like when my aunt was diagnosed with cancer and she wanted to come up and see her family one last time, you guys were there in force. Our community came together. When I was dealing with my aunt's death, my community was there. Um, it was a little different this past weekend, and I'll tell you why. Partly because kind of the way I was feeling this weekend was a repeat to what happened shortly after my aunt died. And I not only had her loss, but I had other losses going on. And some of it was related to YouTube. And I needed to just take it easy this weekend. So I kind of pulled back a little bit. But I had people that I knew that if I needed to talk and reach out to, they were going to be there for me, hands down. And I was beyond grateful. And I knew I could reach out for that help. And so I didn't need to do that because I was too tuckered this weekend. But if you build your YouTube community on our channel on community, then when anything happens, you're there to help each other. You're there to help each other grow. You're there to help each other go forward. It's not about the numbers. It's just about connecting and getting through it. A lot of times I go live, even if all I can do is like this weekend, I was just say, I think I went live Saturday because I just wanted to check in with y'all. And I really glad I came out to here today, even though I kind of really at first didn't feel like it. Um, but I'm really glad I did. And a lot of times I go live because I want to help you all. And then what does it do? If I'm taking my mind off the pain, I'm thinking of you guys, not me, then what's happening? I'm getting blessed. And when we're monetized, Mama gets blessed. So I'm blessing you guys. You were blessing me, and then you're blessing Mama in return. So it's a win-win as far as I'm concerned. And that's what you do. And we're stronger than we were. We have gained. Um, oh, yes, I did. I said my favorite color is purple. Purple, purple, purple. Purple girl all the way. Purple, and then turquoise is my next favorite. I'm a purple girl. I thought I did. I'm sorry if you didn't hear me. Um, but you got to build it on community. We're ever since it happened on the 21st, we've grown in community members by about, and I call them that now. I really do. I say it's not about subscribers. I think people hear that word, they think they have to pay for it. You know what I mean? And I just think that they should be changing that whole thing. And you know, uh, I just think that they need to change it because it's not um it's not people think they have to pay when they don't have to do it. That's fine. No worries. You're fine. And so I just think when you say community, I think the connection button would be so much better. And if YouTube ever does that, I would like a little bit of royalty from Mama, please, because I'm the one that came up with it over here. YouTube, listen, listen. Change the subscribe button to connection button. And if you do, send Less to Crochet, Mama, a little bit of the royalty for it. Thank you very much. You would find out that more people would hit that button if it had connection And then if they wanted to support the channel instead of subscribe and be a channel member, then you could say support. It makes so much better sense than subscribe. Just so you know. Listen, YouTube, listen. I don't think they are. But it's worth a shot, right? It is worth a shot for sure. Oh boy. So anyway, that was a really weird pop-up of something or other that didn't produce anything. I made sure I looked and I thought, is it going to rain? Yeah. It would be nice, right? I just think that if they changed it to connection button, connect, I just think it would just be, it's like, why does the book face work? Why? Because they have friend request. I mean, I subscribe to Hulu and all those different channels. But if something else better came on, I would be changing my loyalty to whatever it was, right? I'd be changing. I wouldn't be sticking with it. I'd be changing it because I'm not connected with those things. I have stakes in a lot of channels, Foodies Network, Chips One, Source, Tuber Chat, all those people, they're friends of mine. I have a stake in their channel. Abby or Amby, Sandy Wandy, Kristen. I mean, I've got stakes in their channel. Why? Because they're friends of mine. And they're my community members. And so I just think that that's what they should do. But they don't listen to me. We're working on the police. I need to do another set of the thing. I think I'll have enough to do another one in the armies. So, Kathy, after this, so I'd like to have another one for the army. Careful. Tag. Out with her. It's like their daughter and their grandchild. I'm like, I'll be doing it soon. Trying to give them a moment without talking over them. All right. Well, have a good dinner, Alfonso. I will try to get to your premiere. I have to see what I'm. If I got one, two, I'm not thinking of rose right now. Hold on a second. I do this one a little differently, folks. I may have messed this one. Hold on a second. I don't remember. Oh my boy. Oh my goodness. 5, 6. I think I may have messed this one up. Can't remember if I think I did one more row. If so, I'll have to just undo it and redo it because it'll be it won't be right. I have too many too many ties to it. I kept that. I'm gonna hold off on this one because I think I messed up. Oh wait, you I didn't bring my little thing out with me, and I still think I'd have enough to do it because I'd be able to undo it. I'd be able to undo it and actually use this for the top, and it'll be fine. So I'd have enough. I think I did 7 rows. I have to go look at my examples. Because I haven't done them enough to go, oh yeah. I'd be able to use the middle to some degree, but I thought I did. Be able to use this glue in the middle. Be able to use that for top. So I'm gonna hold off on this because I need to now check that because I think I got my thing out of whack. Okay, well we'll do this. Okay. We'll work on another one. No, whatever. I will work on that when I go back inside. Like I said, um, we are gonna the recaps. Not even going about it. I just don't have patience for it. I have another day. Ohio weather. Trying to think. Did any one of the soap caddies do first responders? Navy blue. But I need red, so I better hold off on that. I had to think about that. I'm thinking, but I'm not. Telling y'all. It's not that I'm not with it, I'm just really, really tired. Tuckered. I'm a tuckered individual. Oh, let's do this one. Let's use this color. This is called. This is called Sage. We'll do a sage one. Oh, see, we've been out here at 7:20, so we'll stay out here a little longer, and then I'm gonna go inside and just get comfortable and I could go back to bed. But I'm actually gonna stay awake and work on the finishing because I can't move on with any more of the patriotic soap caddies until I finish the first responders because I got to make sure I have enough yarn to do those and yeah. Now, one thing I'm going to say, first of all, is out of all the yarn that I have found, Hobby Lobby is the softest cotton yarn I have found, and um, the softest I found, and made a thing of chill, roasted. It dipped whenever that huge thing came through. It like did a little dippy dip in the weather. Um, and the we Joann's is non-existent anymore, and Michael's is about an hour away. And I haven't gone into Michael's in a very long time. From what I remember, their yarn was more on the expensive side, and I just really like the cotton yarn from Hobby Lobby. And we have one about 10 minutes from us. So we have one some fairly close. Good. And so that's one thing that I'm grateful for. We have that close. Um, I'm not willing to drive an hour to go to Michael's. And that's why I brought it out here. I didn't know I was gonna be like last time. It's just the wind changed after the whole thing. It's warm now. It's like just need you. So anyway, charge it up when I get back inside. Anyway, so so because of that, it's just I do not like the Walmart yarn. The Walmart cotton yarn is the brand they carry is very rough. So I have found over time that the best ones for these soap caddies is Hobby Lobby. And I did have someone say to me recently, who I gave one to, they said, "Oh," she said, "my grandson uses it because it's so soft." So it's the reason we use it is because it's for the body. Sometimes people will use it on their face. And if they are a fibromyalgia patient, often they can't take anything rough because it's hurtful. So we use the Hobby Lobby yarn because it is so soft. It makes it soft on their skin and makes it something that they can handle having. So especially if they're dealing with chronic pain, any kind of disabilities, um, it is tremendously soft. Now, one soap that we really like is the Amish Farm soap. We love that. Brenda Gant was who I found that soap from. She's somebody that does a lot of cooking. Love the Amish Farm soap, and it is wonderful. I eventually like to become have mama become a wholesale distributor, or go out with our soap caddies and take the soap because it is really nice, and especially when I get to places that offer that and we distribute it for it. But it is, I love the Amish Farm soap. Love it. We haven't had it for a while, but I might get it now. So nice. And bar soap, a lot of people, honestly, they don't use bar soap because it's messy. I've heard, oh, I don't use bar soap because I don't like, it's just messy and it's hard to use. And so this way, no mess, no fuss. So anyway, but I will be somewhat back tomorrow. Hopefully. Just been going through it. Okay. I thought I needed to step outside today. Today needed to be a day I stepped outside. And here, so it's not right. I feel like I'm not with it today. I really do. I absolutely feel like I'm not with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 12, 13. I feel like I'm off in some kind of la la land or something. Oh, well, and Ambi, don't feel bad because I was supposed to do a playlist, and what happened just threw me for a loop. It really did. Wasn't major, it just was unexpected. And I've had, no joke, very, very painful weekend. Um, and I was gonna do the list, and it just playlist, and it didn't happen. And so, one idea to do is another thing to do with it too, something to think about is just make it for the whole year. I mean, have people make things and put it like in a year worth of a playlist. Like, make it, I know, make it May. I know that that's the May thing, but you could have make it in 2026. And then that way it's all year. You know what I mean? And everybody could put their stuff in the playlist. So, um, I want to apologize because I should have done, you did a playlist. I just haven't gotten around to it. And I needed to. I'm gonna do this again. It's not coming out right. But it's, again, it was um just was a lot. Okay, well that's good. And if you do it, send it to me so I can share it. But Friday, Josh was like, I was in bed, no joke. And I am not a person, I like staying up late. I'm not an all night kind of person. I did that in my lifetime where I did night audit. Hi, Share Bear. I didn't like it. So I'm not a night person. But I don't like, I like to, hold on a second. I like to stay awake, and then go to bed maybe like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And Saturday, I think it was Saturday going into Sunday, I was asleep at 11 o'clock. And he's like, "You're going to bed this early for you?" And I'm like, "Yep, I'm that tired." And I literally, I always put my phone on. I have something going. I'll go through Facebook Reels and fall asleep that way, or I will turn on, Mr. Belvedere or something. You know what I mean? So that it goes, I'm listening to it or something like that. And I literally put my phone down and was out within minutes. I was that tired. So I did not sleep well on Friday going into Saturday. I was up by 7:30 in the morning, which is very rare for me. And I was just in a lot of pain that I couldn't even settle to take a nap. And then on Sunday, I thought, oh, I was like, I finally slept. And then I was like, by 3 o'clock, I couldn't even keep my eyes open anymore. And I'm just going to lay down for an hour. I was out for 2 hours. This afternoon, Christina went home, and my husband just looked at me and he said, "You need to go lie down for another nap." And I took another half an hour nap. So this whole thing, I just had a pain. I had a fibromyalgia flare up, and it just threw me for a loop. I'm thankful it's not the same situation as I was dealing with last year. It looks like it put me in the hospital, but it was just something I wasn't expecting, and it took a lot out. And um, you know, uh, I think what people don't realize, when you are a fibromyalgia patient and you're a woman, there's other aspects to it that men just don't have to deal with. And it does really it throws your whole body for a loop. So anyway, it's just been, I'm just tired from it. And it was a little nerve wracking, a little bit. It just brought back memories of Patty and all the stuff that happened last year. And I was like, I really didn't want to even think about it. I guess my body was like, well, we're going to make you. So you can hear the frogs. The frogs. Nighttime. Nighttime. Frogs. Hopefully to find tomorrow. I'm like, I should go on and do the recaps. I just don't have a desire. I want to go home. I want to go back to bed. I want to go back in the house. And I want to actually go back to bed. I'm that tired. And I'm not going to beat myself up for it. So, you know, and I think that's all we can do. We do the best we can. And, that's amazing that you've done things, and you've you know, donated them. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, I helped my mom cook egg Benedict today, and we had that. And then I had some phyllo dough left over from the Taropitas and the Spanakopita's. So I made some kind of, it was delicious. And limp away, welcome on in. You can put hashtag blessed in the chat if you want people to connect with your channel. Um, it was phyllo dough, and it had apples in it. Oh, so good. So I made that, and then we had eggs Benedict for lunch. And so it was really nice. I can tell you there was a small part of me that was like, um, my mom was like, because they don't live too far away, but they don't live like 10 minutes down the road either. So my mom was like, I'm a little nervous to go pick her up right now. I was like, um, you know, I want to be a grandma, but we wait till next month, please. So there was a little bit of going. We hope somebody doesn't decide to come a little on the early side. So we were thankful that and she came, and then had a wonderful, enjoyed some time with Mocha before everything happens next month, and that nobody decided to make an early arrival. So there was a little bit of, my mother was like, she said to me, she goes, because she came home, she goes, I got her home. She goes, the whole entire time today, she said, little part of it was, Lord, not yet. you know, because if it happened, if if something like that had happened here, it's about an hour and 40 minutes to get her up there. And so it was like, you know, past, no, it's not, close. She's not that far away, but, from her house to where the thing is adds time onto it. So anyway, we didn't have any of that. I was like, good break a little bit. So now it's just all the events are over. We're just on, really, it could happen anytime. Would like that little one to cook a little bit more. But for sure. Well, spanakopita and thropitas are Greek triangles. And you put cheese in them, they're delicious. And I've been told that I must um make them now, that I can't buy them in the store anymore. My husband's like, "Hey, you have to make these." And I should. I'm gonna make some more so they're in the freezer because they're really good to have on hand, but I'm gonna do my own recipe for it. More feta needs to go in, that's for sure. Um or spinach, and definitely more feta. Anyway, so yes, go ahead. Absolutely. Um, but what I did was I had an extra pack of fila dough in the freezer. And I thought, let me just use this up and then I'll get some fresh stuff next month, next month to make the spanakopithas and taropithas. And so I looked and said, well, what can I do? We didn't really have any dessert. And so we had apples. And I took apples and I put them in like sugar and old maple syrup and cinnamon, sugar, butter, maple syrup, nutmeg, and so forth. And then I took the filo dough sheets, and I put them down on a cookie sheet. And then I cooked the apples a little bit. Then I put the apples inside the filo dough, layered the filo dough with butter, and then I put the apples kind of like in the filo dough, giving me a little room to kind of roll up on the sides and then roll up on the top part and then roll it and put it in the oven for about a half an hour. And then I had some powdered sugar left over and I made like a glaze for it. I was like, this is good. Yeah. I need to keep some filo dough in the house. They're really good. It's absolutely delicious. Everybody, this is really, really, really good. The only thing I would have done differently next time is I would have split it in two, which meant I would have made two different ones because I think the filo dough was a little thick on the thick side. And I needed to maybe do it like half the sheets for that. But I didn't want to like have any sheets left over because they dry out too quick. So it's like once I unthawed it, I didn't want to have it left over. But on if I had enough apples, I'd have done probably divided it up in two sheets. And it was still good. It was delicious. She's like, Mom, you could make this again. I mean, you could put blueberries in it. You could put a blueberry compote in it. You could put strawberries in it. I think the blueberry would probably be absolutely delicious. So we had that. We made eggs Benedict and so forth. But I thought for sure when that last kind of whatever decided to come up, I thought for sure we were going to have a rainstorm, and it didn't do that. Mhm. I know. Welcome to Ohio weather. You never know what you're going to get. You never know what you're going to get when it comes to Ohio weather. I don't think we're going to get a sunset out of today. I don't, it's not happening. I think I'm going to get done with, I mean, not get done with this whole thing. I'm just going to. I'm going to have some nice oatmeal. Possibly. We'll see. Go to bed. Yep. I'm just, I mean, I would have no desire. I mean, I would live back in Florida if I had to, but I have no desire to. I mean, I'm never gonna say never, but my husband doesn't. I can tell you that he is. He doesn't want. He was like, "Oh, give me Florida or give me cold." He loves the cold weather. My mother likes the hot weather. I'm like, I went out today. Go ahead. I mean, I this is fine. I mean, it's at least there's a coolness to the air, and then sometimes in the winter, I will our room in the back it's like really hot, and I will open my window, and I love the cold weather coming in. I mean, it could be 10 degrees out, and I've got my window open, like cracked, and Josh will be like, I'm like, I just love sleeping like that. I've always wanted to go to an ice hotel too. Yeah, I have no desire, none whatsoever. I really love Ohio. I've always felt like we used to come up here with my mother's namesake. And I don't know why I always felt as if I was coming home. I can't explain it. I just want to make sure I grabbed all the yarn. Yep. I can't explain why I always felt like I was coming home. But I always felt like I was home. My mother's the we we're in the same town my mother used to live in when she was growing up, you know, and I always just felt like this is my home. And I was just felt like I came back home, and I love the hillsides. I love the Amish country. I love the area. And I just love seeing all the farm country, and I think Ohio will always be my favorite state. Something I've really enjoyed. And if I hadn't married Mr. Blessed to Crochet, we probably wouldn't be up here. I wouldn't be on YouTube. I can guarantee you that. I wouldn't be up here. We'd be in Florida still. You know, we'd still be in Florida. No desire whatsoever. And the reason I mean, this pattern I use is forgiving because I don't have to be, I mean, it's still exact, but it doesn't have to be like, I still use the same stitch. Everyone comes just, I realized I got up this morning like, oh, it's Monday. Like tomorrow I've got to get up and work on channel shout outs and all that stuff. I will do channel shout outs and all that. I have a channel shout out for tomorrow, but I don't have anything past that. So I'll work on that tomorrow when I can think clearly and I don't feel like I'm in a fog. That's awesome though. Has a lot to be said that you live in the same house that, you know, it's been passed down like that. I'd have loved to live in the same home that you know, my grandmother's house. Love to have that house. When college there's too much work to do for it. But still, I loved it. Wasn't in the cards. I think it was, just so you know, I think it was my dad's grandfather. His grandfather or his, yeah, his grandfather. It was either that or my mom's godmother. They could have bought acres of Miami Beach when it was like $100 an acre. And he turned it down because his response was, "Who would want anything to do with sand?" So he didn't buy it, that acreage, because this was back in like the 40s and 50s. Because what is anybody going to do with sand? It was like $100 an acre. You imagine if he had bought that and held on to it for a good period and chunk of time. Ooh, let's just say I think it was $100 an acre, or $50 an acre, something like that. There, there's the bottom part of it. And my uncle, who was an alcoholic, worked for a gentleman. I'm warming up my hands for a minute because they're kind of getting chilled. He worked. My uncle, guys, was so intelligent. When we sold my grandmother's house, we went around that. Of course, he had passed after that. Before we were getting ready to sell it, and we went around the house. Josh and I would say, "Oh, that's a Steven fix it." He was so intelligent. Jerry rigged everything. He was so intelligent, smart guy. Wasted his life with alcohol and drugs and all that kind of stuff. But his father was an alcoholic, so he just my mother. It did. She didn't seem to help. He didn't want to get help. But anyway, that's beside the point. And I have a great compassion, just so people know, for those that have an alcohol or drug addiction, because I just think to myself, sometimes it's out of their control. And I have a great compassion. I see what Patty went through and so forth. And anyway, um, but they had he was working for a gentleman that was building custom homes in Coral Spring. Custom, like, really, really expensive homes in Coral Springs, Florida. And he could have worked for him. The guy had, I don't know if he had sons, I think he had daughters, but they didn't want the business. And he didn't have any sons, I don't think, to pass the business on to. So he saw that Stephen had great potential, and he was going to give him apprenticeship and train him and do all those kind of things and build custom homes in Coral Springs, Florida. And unfortunately, he went to my grandparents and he said, and they were friends of my grandparents. And he said, I'm really sorry, but I'm going to have to let Stephen go because he was stealing from him. He was being dishonest. He was lying. He was showing up to the job site under the influence. And so he lost that opportunity of working for this gentleman who was building custom homes in Florida. If he could have been on the straight and narrow path, he could have worked with him and he would have handed him over the business. He could have been a millionaire because he was so intelligent and so smart, and just, he probably was on the spectrum. But in the Greek tradition, women are not looked at the same thing. My mother was the firstborn, my uncle was the secondborn, and so when he came along, he was just looked at so very different back then than my mother was. And my uncle could get in a lot of trouble, but he couldn't do anything wrong. And he had a father that wasn't really there. He was drinking. And so, because of all those factors, my grandmother did the best she could. It wasn't his fault. And then, of course, my grandfather unalived himself, just trigger warning. And so, and my uncle was in the house when it happened. And I don't think he ever recovered from that. From what I remember, my mother telling us that my uncle was like 12 or 13 or like 10, and he ran around. He ran away from home for 3 days. They couldn't find him. He was like 12, 13, something like that when it happened. And so, he could have been a millionaire if he would have stayed with this guy. He would have treated, he would have, you know, he would have taught him all the things, all about custom homes, building custom homes, and everything. And then eventually he'd have turned the business over to him, but he wouldn't do it. When he went and served in the military, served in the Marines. He was a forward observer, and then he came back, and my grandfather bought him a Corvette. Um, I don't know how. He was about 6'4". I don't know how he fit into a Corvette. Um, he was skinny and thing, but he was about 6'4". And I don't know how he fit into the Corvette, but it didn't last very long because he wrecked it. And so my grandfather said, I'll never buy him another car again. He never did. Um, and then I was probably about 10 or 12, somewhere around there. And we got a phone call about 3:30 in the morning. And it was the hospital. And they said to my mom, are you Stephen Georgopoulos' sister? And she said, yes. And they said, well, you need to come to the hospital now. And he had a big old, I don't know if you remember those big, huge um, station wagons, the wood paneling station wagons. It was everything, really, really heavy, heavy car. And it was because of that he still was alive. And they said, you've got to come to the hospital because you got to sign a form. He's got to be rushed into surgery. He lost his spleen. He broke his leg. I mean, he had so many things going on. Thankfully, he didn't, hurt anybody else. He just hurt himself. But he smashed into a tree. And if it wasn't for the heavy car, I don't think he'd be here. But, or, he's not here now. But at the time, he wouldn't have been here. He wouldn't have made it through that. But he was extremely intelligent, probably on the spectrum. But when he was a kid, he wanted to know how the ice maker worked. And he got up on the chair, pulled a stool up to the refrigerator. And this was before, guys, the ice makers were all encased, you know. And so he wanted to figure out how that thing worked. And he got a stool and he stuck his hand right in the ice maker, trying to figure out how it worked. And the ice maker was doing its turn and it just got stuck there. And my grandmother was flipping out. And I don't know who she called, and they said, you're just going to have to wait a half an hour. I'm sure his hand was freezing. And he was just little. And, you're going to have to wait until it stops, until the half an hour is up. And then once it does that cycle, you're going to have to yank his heart. And my grandmother was trying to cook dinner, and she's looking for the knobs on on the stove, and she couldn't find them. And Stephen couldn't talk. And she went over to Stephen and said, did you do something with the knobs? And he went over to the laundry chute and pointed. He had thrown all the knobs from the stove down in the laundry chute. I mean, he was just unbelievable. My mother, he was teenager years, and my mother had gotten her first paycheck, and she went and got a radio. And he got that radio and he took it apart. She came home. The whole radio was out on the floor. All the little pieces were all over the floor. And she's like, oh my goodness gracious. She said she just about lost it because she said it was first paycheck. She hadn't even listened to the radio yet. And he wanted to know how the thing worked. Took it all apart, put it back together again, and it worked just as well. I mean, that was before the time now where you could take things apart like that, but he wanted to know how it worked. And crazy. And he just took the whole thing. I mean, I don't know if you remember the scene where oh, what's his name now? Oh, I'm gonna forget it too. Klinger. Where Klinger took the whole radio apart and it was hot and so forth. Because he wanted to see how the PA system worked, and he was trying to do some kind of class or whatever it was. He went away for or something like that. Reminded me of that. But anyway, and my uncle and I had a little bit of we had we didn't have, we had a nice relationship until I became a teenager, and then it didn't go so well. It was a difficult relationship, and partly it went around his alcoholism. Like I said, I have I have a heart for those struggling with alcohol and drug use because it's a very misunderstood um, thing. Um, my Patty had it, and part of the reason Patty did was because she had a mother who uh, wasn't there, a mother that was abusive, and a mother that loved my grandmother, but she had a mentally ill mother. Hi, Andrew. Welcome on in. You can put hashtag blessed in the chat if you want people to connect with your channel. And so she was, she, she was trying to escape pain. And that's what most people that are dealing with the drug and alcohol issue do, is they're trying very hard to escape pain. And that's what my aunt did. That's what my uncle did. He went to war. He went to serve in the Vietnam War. He was never the same after he came back. He was never the same after what happened with his father. And so it just, I have a big heart for those that are dealing with that. A big heart for uh, parents of children on the spectrum. I have a big heart for those that are dealing with fibromyalgia. And because I know it, I live it, and I have lived raising a child on the spectrum. Big heart for those dealing with family members that have autism because, or not autism. Well, yes, autism, special needs, but also have dementia because I dealt with my dad who had dementia. So, a huge heart for that. If you want people to connect with your channel, you could put hashtag blessed in the chat. That will crochet that connection. You don't need a crochet hook to be here. We just come on, we connect and grow. We want people to find amazing channels and amazing community. We're all about community here. We're all about helping each other grow. And so if you do want to connect with people, you don't have to. You can just come in and talk. And we have an amazing community here of people that are just coming in to support. Um, and we do a lot of this. We um, sit outside, I'll crochet. We do other projects as well. Tuber Chat said something, and I never really thought about it. He said, you know, she's got a lot of variety on her channel, but we do recipes and other things as well, and discussions and that kind of thing. They said, I also consider her to some degree a homestead channel because she goes outside a lot. I'm like, yeah, it's true. We do. We take the crochet hook and we go outside. This isn't far from where we live. Usually the fountain is going, but tonight for some reason the fountain's not up and running. But I do a lot of crochet because I deal with chronic pain. And so I take you outside with me. We do a lot of soap caddies. We do sell them in our merch store. So that's that. But it turns out to be this. We just launched our military infused soap caddies. That's for the Army. And then we, of course, have regular soap caddies that we do as well. We have our patriotic soap caddies. Put a bar of soap in there and then you go wash. That's awesome. Well, thank you very much. You put your soap in there and we sell them on our merch store. And boy, the frogs are really happening tonight. And that way, put your soap in there and you use it when you're not wasting soap, and it's a lot easier to use. So, at nighttime, you can really hear the thing is you can't see them. I've gone up there trying to see them, and sometimes we'll have deer come over, like right there. They'll come out of the woods back there. Sometimes I've seen a deer just mosey on. At nighttime, the frogs are like really going. So, like I said, wherever the yarn is where I start the next one. Yep. Until it's time for the fall. And then we come out here a lot when it's fall because then you guys get to see the change of leaves. It's just gorgeous. next year, I think what I'm going to do is every time we're someplace, we're doing a live, instead of trying to do like I did last year, which is to go back to the lives and take a thing, I'm just going to take a picture wherever we are so that it shows like the change of leaves that way, because it was too hard to go back to all the lives and try to get, scenes from each one of them and show the progression of the leaves. So as soon as we finish this soap caddy, I think I'm gonna head in. We avoided whatever it was doing, right? It was supposed to look like it was going to rain there for a minute, but continue pressing through, guys, watching our content so we can get back to at least partial and then full monetization quickly. Because we can accept that after on the 21st, we can get back to that. We were monetized, but apparently we left the partner program. I don't remember leaving, so I don't. The whole thing did not make any sense. I'll tell you that right now. The whole thing was, huh? Okay, people are gonna. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. I was like, okay, they're really it do what you want to do, but at least if we're back to where our monetization is, back to our watch hours, then, oh, well, thank you for stopping in. Hope you come back again. Um, if we're back at our watch hours when when the 21st comes around, we can apply for at least partial again. And I'm telling you, when we get there, I'm going to do a whole party again. We'll celebrate where we are with community members. We'll do the monetization partial. We'll do a little bit of a celebration. When fully monetized, we're going to do something a little special. Well, that's awesome. But any help with watching any of our stuff would be very helpful right now so that we can, because we can, if the 21st, which is just a couple days away, if we were at the 3,000, we could, we, apply for it. So, and I'd like to try to get at least to that part. I mean, we'll get the other, but at least to that part again. And I'm gonna be very careful what this girl presses. But I didn't press anything. That's what the whole thing didn't make any sense. I look to make sure nobody else has signed into her account, which they have not. So I don't know. I finally gave up and said, I'm not gonna win this battle. It's fine. We'll get back there again. Oh boy. I don't know what it's doing. Do we know what Ohio weather's doing? There was something that said Ohio's can feel like they go through like 3 seasons in one day. And I'm like, yep, spring, summer, and a little bit of winter all in one day. Yep, exactly it. I chose this color because I didn't think there was green, but I got green on the top. We'll be fine as long as there's a little bit of green. A little bit of the green coming through. We're golden, right? We only have a brief time that I can do this because we have the winters. Can't believe like this winter I'm gonna be around. It's kind of like, okay. My status changes. I get promoted. I think we're gonna try to go to Mount Cheese, but I could, guys, I couldn't. I couldn't get. I really wasn't up to leaving my house. Hopefully, in the next couple of days, I will. I just wasn't up to any of it till like today, where I even felt like coming out a little bit. We're gonna have to do one of the colors in the green I have probably will not go with this. So I try to use that, make my colors. We'll see. I may pull it out. We'll see. I really like it. There's the finished one. Another one bites the dust. I won't end it because I want to make sure I've got a break count of it before I do. Let's just see. I'm gonna pack up in just a minute. Oh, I've got a whole thing of extra. Oh, Carmen, I hope you'll stick around to at least come into chats like us. I'm sorry you're having so much trouble. YouTube is not easy. Sorry you're going through it because you shouldn't have to. I think I like this with it. See, I think it'll be pretty. Purple. It's got a little bit of the purple on the top. Light. Okay. Your neighbor lovingly taking Mocha for a walk. She's amazing. Gotta go in and fix this thing for the police thing. And here, get the other one counted. I should kept a count of how many soap caddies I've got. I've done a lot over my lifetime. So these two are done. This one's going to somebody. And then I've got to figure out someone else that I've got to send soap caddies, which ones they were getting. Yeah. But let's do this. I think I used all the water in this thing. Yep. I'm impressed. Water got done. And we didn't have an episode of us leaving, whatever. Oh boy. Anyway. I'm gonna head in as soon as she's kind of away from the door. Uh, so anyway, give me a minute. I may need to say something. 1 minute. I'm watching, guys, for a second. Okay, she's going in the direction. There's Mocha's coming out, and there's 2 dogs down here, and so we just watch it. I think Mocha would be okay being around other dogs. She'd do okay for a brief moment. She just doesn't know. And the problem is she doesn't know how to act around it. She'll do it, but kind of she doesn't quite know how to behave herself because she wasn't socialized properly. It's all about socialization. It's so important. Oh, okay, she's going that way. I just wanted to see if give me a minute. She's so funny. Oh, it was so funny today because she hopped up on the couch trying to bark and let us know that somebody was coming. And we have like a thing on our above the window, and the little things broke. We'll have to get maintenance to come to fix it. That came It's lightweight, it didn't hurt her, but it came crashed down. She jumped off the couch and went running up to Josh going, "Help me!" The thing, it's like plastic, the thing attacked her. It was so funny. She got out off that couch real quick. She came over to me going, "See what that thing did to me?" It's too funny. You little one. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and we got somewhat of a sunset. It's kind of something or other, but it's gonna get dark. I'm gonna go in. Um, I'll try to do something tomorrow. I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow. We'll have to see. If not, I'll do some kind of diamond painting, and then I'll do the recaps tomorrow. I'm finally kind of coming back after what happened over the weekend. Just having a really bad fibromyalgia flare up and some other things. So I'll be able to kind of um, get back in the swing of things. But keep pressing on, guys. Keep supporting us as you have. You guys are awesome and we love you. So remember, be proud of being you. Everyone else is taken. Keep crocheting that connection. No crochet hook is required. We have you covered. Thank you so much for having us covered. And I will post a YouTube watch hour update tomorrow. Like I said, was just, I haven't been in the mood for it today. But love you all. Have a great night. And I'll try to schedule something tomorrow, but I'll have to check the weather first to decide whether we're doing outside or inside. I doubt we'll be going any place maybe till the end of the week. And then I'll feel better. I really have to, this really took a lot out of me, this little fibromyalgia flare up, and I kind of need to get my strength back, and I'm working on that. So I love you all. Have a great night. And I love each and every one of you. And you guys are amazing. Talk to y'all later. Bye bye, everybody. See you later. Bye bye.